Throughout my time on YouTube, never have I once said, "You think you know a guy," as a reaction to a YouTuber being revealed as someone who isn't how they present themselves, who hides metaphorical skeletons behind their metaphorical closets. And the reason of that being is that I was never too shocked about it, or that people said it before me, because I'm not on social media 24/7, I would not be mentally well or have a neck if I were. Everyone has a dark side, or at least every one person has one thing in their mind that they know if they share, they know that they would be sharing way too much. And I'm no different. I did stuff as a kid that was so vile because of my innocence and stupidity that if I shared now, you get an entirely different idea of the person you are hearing right now. And it will be hard to just go off and hold it in the past. While it would be a fair argument, it doesn't change the fact that it's the same person. There's a lot of creators who have been exposed because they weren't either secretive enough or somebody was digging their nose into another person's private business, which is not entirely justifiable act, regardless of how crucial that clickbait info is. This, however, is a different situation. This is a scenario where a person has hidden a trait that is hidden from the public audience, but chose to waste a shit ton of money on that trait and share it elsewhere, and not expect it to come back and bite him in the boombox if you catch him adrift. Today, we're talking about Verbalase. Yeah, this guy. And I'm not just gonna say he's down bad. Despite his wholesome appearance and kindness he's known for, I'd say that he is down horrendous. So let's get into it. Before we get into the topic of this video, make sure to hit the sub button. We're trying to hit at least 10k before the end of the year. Let's go. Verbalase, more commonly known as Verbalase Beatboxer from Outer Space, has been a popular YouTuber for years, mainly based on his main animated series, Cartoon Beatbox Battles. The show started off with rough and scratchy animation, but out of nowhere in recent years, the animation would have a massive production quality upgrade. Out of nowhere. And when this happened, I feared that this would not only mean that episodes would take longer, but put a higher budget on that would eventually leave Verbalase in the dirt, and the series wouldn't end up finishing. And unfortunately, both of these scenarios ended up happening. But one of these is because of an act of nonsense that was highly unnecessary. So I was just scrolling through YouTube one day, looking for something in particular in my feed, and I found a video from Yeah Gaming, a fellow YouTuber who has over 500k subs on his main channel, and just hit 40k subs on his alt channel. A moment of silence for this man's great accomplishment. Anyway, so I wanted to point out that this guy usually covers indie horror projects like FNAF or Garten of Banban, if you can even consider them horror, or any kind of content farm garbage on the internet. What's interesting about the video I found in my feed, though, is that it was about Verbalase, which felt odd because he never really talked about this guy before. But I completely understand why he did. The first half of this video, he was just mentioning stuff about him while having PewDiePie's adventure in the background. It wasn't until the second half of the video where I was frankly really shocked. I don't even know where to begin, so I'm just going to tell you what happened, and you can just absorb that knowledge. Granted, it's hard to believe. This man, who is running a series on a tight budget, blows $50,000 on an AMV music video where he enters the world of Hazbin Hotel, and Charlie from that individual IP gets down in bed with him. What? So the implications of the music video is just wild. It felt so unbelievably random and out of character of the guy. Verbalase has always put forth a wholesome and entertaining face for anyone to see, and he's genuinely seemed like a good person. However, that's the bad thing about creators. Even after knowing them for years, it doesn't mean that you know who they truly are. It's just hard to believe that a while ago this man was so passionate of the series that he promoted his Patreon to help pay the animators for their amazing work. We wanted him to use the money to promote a show people wanted to keep going. Not for him to fulfill his inner sexual desires with a fictional character through those rectangle-ass glasses that doesn't even get officially shared anywhere, so he couldn't potentially make the money back. What was the plan? Was there any at all? Or was this just a video to hide in your closet so you could get to the private business with, if you know what I'm talking about? There's nothing wrong with fantasizing of a fictional character, nor is it wrong to make stuff like that in private, but what is wrong is wasting money on that instead of supporting the animators further so you could appreciate them for all the work they've done for you. Jeez, man. This topic is kind of new, so if there's anything that clears up anything I just said and disproves any of it, I just want to say I'm sorry and let me know in the comments. What do I think now? Well, I've Got a long tweet here that explains the dilemma from a separate user. I'll read it out as follows. Explaining the story of Hideaway from Verbalase, a thread. So me and SFGT Games made some replies exposing Verbalase's Hideaway project that apparently was $50,000. That I claimed financially bankrupted the man and made him cancel cartoon beatbox battles. Now some popular accounts are posting about it, so let me explain. I can't use images right now since I'm using a school laptop right now, but when I get back home I will post screenshot proof for all this. For right now I'm explaining the story. Cartoon beatbox battles suffered one of the worst delays of its kind in Season 1, 6 months for an episode. The episode Black Panther vs. Deadpool released on June 5, 2021, 6 months after Pennywise vs. Patrick. This tanked his channel. But what was he doing for all that time? Well, he told us in the official server, I'm pretty sure a few months later, that there was a special project that he had made, a project involving him in the Has-Been Hotel universe. A former friend of mine, Hydro Animates, creator of the HYB, a very controversial fan series, has shown me some screenshots of it before the music video would even be on YouTube. Nobody really had any idea what the hell it was about. Not even me or my friend. But all we know is that what it cost a lot. I wasn't expecting until 2023 where I came back to the CBB community, where it was brought back up by my friend, and it was revealed by Verbalase that it was actually finished and released somewhere. He told us it costed him roughly $50,000 and that it was too mature for him to post on his channel. Apparently he said it caused the music video for the song was way too disgusting. Having the woman singing making out with old people and even children, so he made his own version. All we knew back then that it was about a music video animation of a song he didn't make. It was Has-Been Hotel related, and it's somewhere on YouTube. Eventually, someone found it in the YBB community. I'll explain what the YBB community is soon. I actually have a recording of me and a few friends watching it for the first time. I will post it when I get home. To say it effed us up hard would be an understatement. We mostly kept the video as a secret to our group chat, not wanting anyone to find out about it. It wasn't until long where someone would post it in a group chat where it began spreading around the YBB community. Hydro was pissed since he's a close friend to Verbalase. Eventually more and more people found out about it, and even Sacred stuff for some reason. I remember your comment, lol, until it spread to the official server. This became a whole controversial event inside the server, people getting banned for joking about it, and a new rule where nobody was allowed to mention the video by any means. Verbalase in the midst of all this didn't care at all. He thought the video was harmless and didn't understand the big reaction towards it. Eventually, during this controversy, he privated the video on the Chase channel, but someone re-uploaded it a bit after, and now I don't talk to Hydro Animates anymore. They're a bad person who manipulated, groomed, and didn't pay me at all for my work for them. So now I am free to post Hideaway to the world. If I never posted it, nobody would have known. Now, talking about how this killed his channel. Hideaway was never uploaded on his channel. There was no Verbalase content for nearly 6 months. This did not help the fact that Black Panther vs. Deadpool wasn't particularly an exciting episode, so it's no surprise that it failed to compare to his previous episodes. Check out the view counts between Pennywise vs. Patrick, 20 million, and Black Panther vs. Deadpool, 12 million. Every episode before this had at least 20 million. Now the finale also took 6 months, and it was only 6 minutes long. The solos sucked, and the audio was weirdly low quality. There was little to no fanfare for the project. This boomed even more. Eventually, Verbalase made a special episode 16, which nobody, since it was a competition episode, only having 3 million views. Season 2 came along with Shadow vs. Vegeta, which while had the infamous I am Vegeta meme, it still has considerably low amount of views. Dave vs. Skipper also took 6 months, and yeah, who the heck wanted that? Pretty sure it's still a pathetic 3 million. It's actually 5 million if you go check it. This Last Resort, a remaster of the second episode, Pikachu vs. Group, was also a mega failure. Now he's making FNAF content because he's trying to find anything to get him back to relevance. Even Skibbity Toilet, though it's not working. Now he's left his main channel for a new one where he'll post rest of his regular content in, while leaving his CB videos on the main channel to hopefully take some money from. The channel has only like 3,000-4,000 subscribers and is a huge flop. So, what do I think of the situation? I think it's ridiculous what Verbalase did. I think he wasted a bunch of money on something he should have tried to keep secret better. I even watched the video, which I won't show off any of it for obvious, fair, and respectable reasons, but I do have to give the animator credit. They did a genuinely good job with making Charlie look legit, and the effects and highlights were all visually interesting, regardless of the message the video was giving off. Like, wow, I saw some stuff, brother. It wasn't nudity or anything, but it just feels so bizarre that a guy who came off as someone just got leaked to be someone else entirely. I watched the video mainly to confirm some allegations like Charlie making out with elders or children, which thank goodness that wasn't the case, or all the strip teasing, which definitely was true. I eventually got either of the allegations confused within the main tweet, so I'm pretty sure I just got a few of those things wrong, so I apologize. Overall, I just feel like this should have not been a good financial decision from Verbal, and it just feels so scummy and highly out of character. And just like that, a creator of a beloved series loved by millions was ditched so he could get it on with a flat girl on a flat screen. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to stay in tune for future media I produce. I stream regularly on the channel, and I talk about many topics within the world of the internet. Be sure to subscribe. Take care now. Love y'all.